The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now one of the biggest movies to hit the 2024 screens, made with a budget of $160 million. It has now raked in around $240 million worldwide in only its second weekend. This makes it the fourth movie to cross the $200 million mark or milestone so far in 2024, a feat it accomplished in under 10 days. But it does need around 80 million more to break even, since they have to account for marketing and royalties with the theaters, along with the budget. Anyway, that's the statistics of Kingdom as of the second weekend. Now here in this video we will discuss a topic that hasn't been touched by most ape fans. That is the question of how intelligent are the apes in Kingdom and how advanced are their societies. We will do our best here to discuss this with minimal spoilers for the movie. Let's get to it. Now firstly, we have to address what has happened since War for the Planet of the Apes, and what is the current status as of the beginnings of Kingdom. In the conclusion for War of the Planet of the Apes, Caesar leads his fellow apes in a daring escape from imprisonment by a human military faction led by a colonel. Before the end, Caesar confronts the colonel with the intent of killing him, but the human was found to have succumbed to a cognitive degrading mutation of the simian flu, and subsequently commits suicide. This is a strain of the virus that would infect all the other human survivors, making them incapable of speech and high intelligence. However, it was revealed that Caesar suffered a mortal wound, one that was sustained during the escape, and now surrounded by his fellow apes and his son Cornelius, Caesar passes away peacefully, knowing his people would have found safety. The film ends with the apes beginning a new chapter in their history, free from human oppression, and in the beginning of Kingdom, the immediate events of Caesar's death after Caesar's death was shown, and his legacy becomes legend, and then his legend becomes myth, some 300 years into the future. So how did apes become intelligent in the first place? And are the successive generations more intelligent than the previous ones? Well, this all began with two experimental drugs, which are the retroviruses ALZ-112 and the ALZ-113, which were genetically designed with semi-good intentions as a cure for Alzheimer's and for money-making, of course, by the corporation. The ALZ-112 was first administered to a chimpanzee called Bright Eyes, resulting in enhanced intelligence and green irises. This virus temporarily improved cognitive functions in humans as well, and showed to have some effects on Alzheimer's, but then these were not lasting effects, and it quickly became more bad than good. Then the ALZ-113 was developed as a more powerful and contagious strain to achieve permanent results in curing Alzheimer's. However, it also successfully enhanced the intelligence of apes, as seen in the rapid cognitive advancements of Koba and Caesar. This ALZ-113 would then be spread amongst other apes in the San Bruno primate shelter by Caesar, and then it was inferred later to have spread all over the world as the simian flu, hence also altering most captive apes that would be exposed to humans, who themselves would die of the flu. Caesar, the protagonist of the first trilogy of movies, which is Rise, Dawn, and War, inherited intelligence from his mother Bright Eyes, who was exposed to the ALZ-112, the first retrovirus, whilst being pregnant with Caesar. This inheritance made Caesar exceptionally intelligent from birth, with advanced problem-solving skills and cognitive abilities. His exposure to the ALZ-113 further augmented his intellect, enabling him to speak, and over time, apes born from parents exposed to the ALZ-113 inherited these enhanced traits, accelerating their cognitive development and communication skills. This new generation of evolved apes, exemplified by Caesar's son, Blue Eyes, rapidly progressed, laying the foundation for a fast advancements in ape culture in the foreseeable future, as we can see here in the Kingdom movie. Now this brings us to Kingdom. So what kind of civilization era are the ape societies here, in comparison to Dawn and War? And by this I mean something akin to those seen in anthropology studies and the Age of Empires game of civilization progression. You know, the Stone Age to Copper Age to Bronze Age, Iron Middle Age, Imperial and Industrial Age, etc. In Dawn and War, it had been just a decade after the start of the end of human civilizations. It was stated in War that the apes needed no clothing, no transport, no electricity, and all of what makes humans powerful, and they had all that advantage over humans. They were seen to live in a sort of a settlement, a village with rudimentary houses made of wood, logs, and leaves, essentially the same as some of the natives of the Amazon jungle live today, going on with what the forest provides. They are seen, the apes, They are seen to hunt with spears and other crude weapons, and so they can be termed to be living in a societal stage which is equivalent to the Neolithic times, or otherwise known as the New Stone Age era. By the time of Kingdom, Noah's village was seen to be a thriving settlement with large towers made from bamboo and wood. They are seen to be smoking meat, which tells us that they have advanced through limited food processing techniques. They have also progressed through the solely hunting stages and are now in an agrarian stage with small farms, aquaculture, horse riding and bird rearing. It is different for the group of apes under Proximus' reign. These groups are seen to be quite often using metal weapons and even repurposed and modified taser-tipped spears. This can only be inferred later in the movie as being of human origins and are merely reclaimed pieces of technology aided by a human accomplice who is very well versed in history and technology. So it is evident that the ape societal evolution took a very different pathway in comparison to human societal development. While humans progressed from Stone Ages to Copper Ages and Bronze Ages after quite a few thousand years, and then again after a couple of millennia to the Iron Age, the ape societies in the course of 300 years have advanced to almost the same as the Bronze Age humans in just a fraction of the time. This is not because the apes were smarter or more mentally evolved. It is because humans had to start from scratch with no idea of what the future holds. Humans had to discover metal ores and by accident smelted some in a fire only to find out that the end product was a substance with incredible hardness and utility. And so these kind of inspirations and discoveries happen over the course of thousands of years. The apes didn't have to go through all that. The possibilities and inspirations were already lying around with human archaeotech and with the very visible ruins of a bygone age, be it ships, buildings or the things inside of them. So the progression of these ape societies, more specifically of Proximus, would be heavily influenced and assisted by recovered pieces of technology and tools, kickstarting a faster social evolution in the later sequels. Now the question, are the apes here in Kingdom more or less intelligent than the pre-semen flu humans of the 21st century? This is kind of a complex question to answer. Are they less literate? Well, most definitely, as we can see that most of them have lost the knowledge of how to read and write, and therefore this limits their ability to pass on wisdom and information from one generation to another. It is strange as to how they lost this because even in Caesar's time, Maurice and others were teaching the apes, the small kids, alphabets on how to read and write. But by the time of Kingdom, the only one with a crude ability for literature was Raka, and with his apparent death, this would slow down the advancements of the apes by a lot, unless they develop their own language and scripts. But that's just what it is, merely language, and it doesn't really determine how smart or clever an individual is. Does it help in communication? It sure does, as well as advancing learning, but it in itself isn't a factor for the raw mental prowess for either ape or human. So you might ask, how can their levels of intelligence be measured then? Well, the best way to look at how smart or how intelligent the apes are in the movies, as well as how smart humans are here in the present times, is to look at their problem-solving skills. Noah, the protagonist, was a great problem solver, from using a steel pipe to assist in climbing, to hunting and tracking, as well as fixing a taser spear of Proximus' group. Now, can any one of us with no background knowledge in engineering or physics perform such a task? Fix a taser? Hardly no one, right? Except for a few gifted individuals. We consider ourselves informed, but are we really smart in the sense that we can survive without the assistance of the technology we take for granted? So yeah, this answers the question. The apes in the movie are indeed as mentally developed as most of us are right now. We might not be even smarter than them. They might be smarter than us. Well, some of them, maybe. They might not progress to be super geniuses in the future of the movies, but their societies would evolve in a faster manner as compared to human societies of the ancient past. So that's all we have to say about how intelligent or advanced are the ape societies in the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And with this we come to the end of the video. Now if you like this one, then watch this other one as well. And do check out our channel for other ape content. We might have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.